Hello there, everybody. Wee Paddy from across the shuck. I haven't done a video in about 3 days, nearly 4 days. But here we are, we're back again. And as you'll see in the title, it's Modern Pocket Knives, The Difference. And recently I've been talking an awful lot about moving into the traditional pocket knives, that I want to start building up a little collection of them. Because I've got drawers full of just, medium sized knives and larger knives, and I have these modern knives, and I have a few other modern knives, smaller knives. These are what I would call modern pocket knives. They're about the same size as a traditional. They slip in your pocket. You're not gonna. Well, I wouldn't be using them clips. I would just throw these into my pocket, to be honest with you, or put them in a wee leather pouch if I wanted to do that and throw it in my pocket. There would be a secondary knife. There wouldn't be my main blade for the day. But I was sitting in my head and I was sitting thinking, what is the difference? Why have we felt the need to move to the modern blade steels? I mean, some of these are D2, S35VN, S30. I mean, all different blade steels I've got in front here. I'll go through them slowly, and we're going to have a look at them. And I thought, why do we need this when we have traditional pocket knives to fall back on as pocket droppers? And I was thinking, is it an age thing? Is it because I'm older? And when I think of a pocket knife, I don't think of a modern knife. Does that sound silly? I think of the likes of Buck, or, the Case or something. That's what I would think of as a pocket knife. Whereas I'm only, since I started getting into knives, starting to think of these as pocket knives and not fancy knives, which, they are in comparison to most pocket knives. The blade steels are better than most pocket knives. There's a couple here. Well, one is right. There's the Kershaw Amplitude. That's that's what I would call a little pocket knife. And it's ER 8 CR13, which is a beautiful little knife, a great knife for a pocket knife. So the blade steel is not that great in that, but the rest of them are pretty good blade steels. And, they will last a bit longer, but do we need them in a daily pocket drop? Because what's your pocket knife for during the day? It would be pull it out, cut a bit of thread, cut a bit of tape, open a wee box, open a letter. It's not going to be in your pocket to do a day's work. Do you know, that's not what it's for. It's just for just them wee silly jobs, taking tags off stuff. So I was just in my head, I was sitting thinking, I've got these, and what is the difference? Why do I want traditional when I've got these? Why do I want to step back? Now, I've already gathered up a few traditional over this last year, and I like them because it's like it's like country and western and soul music. The traditionals are the soul, and this is like your fancy country and western music, this modern new age country and western, but you've got soul, which will never change. Other types of music can change, but soul is soul, doesn't change. So, I mean, that's the difference in my head. The traditionals of soul, these are just, popular culture. They'll not last as long. I mean, will I be looking in, 20 years' time? This is a beautifully made knife from Tuya Knives. Absolutely beautifully made Tuya knife. And this is S35VN. Absolutely stunning. Look at that blade shape. Lovely recurve for cutting. There's nothing more you really want in life. A lock knife, absolutely beautiful, and works just as good as any big knife. Flicks out just as good. But in 20 years' time, will there be as many of them about as there is, I'm just reaching over here, buck canoes? Do you know what I mean? Will there be? And the answer, I believe, is no, there won't, because the traditional, the soul, like the music, is always going to be there. a knife with a bit of soul in it, a knife with a bit of, like, it's memories for an awful lot of people. They can think back to what their uncles, to what their grandfathers had. But that's starting to go now. The only people who are really sticking with the old traditionals is knife collectors. And I think it's quite sad, and I think it's even more a reason for me to want to pick up a few better quality knives so that I can pass my knives on to my kids. And and they'll be able to see what they are if they're interested when they grow up, because they're not at all interested now. They don't mind a wee knife now and then, but I can't get them interested at all, which I find very strange. But so, I mean, I've got a wee selection out here, and the selection is in price. This one here is a little slip joint one, and this one cost me, I think it was about £7, and it says it's D2. No idea what it is whatsoever. No idea, but it's a nice wee slip joint, and you can get plenty of work done. It's sharp. I have no problems with it. It's a sharp wee knife. Lovely job. Now, the other thing that I was sitting looking at them is I was listening to Love Them Knives today, and he was saying about people that are buying these new knives, and they're buying the likes of this one. This is a Fura knife, but it was a copy of a well-known maker, and they have their stamps on them. And a lot of people find that completely wrong. I don't particularly like it, but to be honest, that's what China does. I mean, it's cheap enough. I can buy that for 20 quid. And I think it's supposed to be S35VN on that. It's a good blade steel. Not sure what it is. Don't know. And that's the other thing that I want, people to understand. I sort of want to back Love Them Knives up. Is that when I'm buying a knife, I buy a knife because it looks nice. Because there's something about it that aesthetically pleases me. Look at that. That's a wee knives.An. Beautiful knife. That's £100 knife. Do you know what I mean? It's £100 or $100, I should say. $100 knife. Little small knife like that. 100. It's beautiful. It's titanium. I think it's S35. I'll just have a wee double check. Where is it? Yes, S35VN as well. So you're not going to get much better blade steel than that. And it's $100 for a pocket knife. And all these they all do the same thing. That's £7 one. I'm not sure what the steel is, but here, this one is 8CR13. So it needs sharpened more, or it needs stropped more. If you come in at the end of the day and strop that, it'll be ready for tomorrow again. That's all it needs is stropped. I have other ones that are not so dear. There's a Tucson. Now, they're very much similar, aren't they? They're very, very similar. And blades. You have a bit of a thicker, bigger grind on this one. This is D2, so they say. I have no reason to doubt it because it seems to work like D2. It hasn't stained yet, but then again, I haven't got it wet yet or left it wet yet. It just works. So, I mean, that's about a $30 knife to a $100 knife. Blades are much the same, but I do like having a different selection. I love these. I'm not putting any of these knives down. I actually love them. Here's another one. This is just the wee detent locking one. I think that's lovely. Look at the shape on that. It's just lovely. It really is a beautifully made little double detent knife. Absolutely gorgeous. Would you use that clip? No, you just throw it in the bottom of your pocket. So it's funny. I'm just having one of them nights on why I wanted to go and get more traditional. And now that I've thought about it, I understand these are lovely. And I like having the modern ones because I'm a sort of modern. I came into the knife world in this modern era, if you like. It was only a year ago. Only just over a year ago I came into the knife world. So it's I started off with trying to get this type of knife. I didn't really want to get box and case and all. They looked old fashioned. They looked out of date. I wanted the new ones. I wanted my grail knife was the Benchmade knife. I'd never heard of a Benchmade a year and a half ago. Well, 2 years ago, say. I'd never heard of a Benchmade. Never seen one or heard of one. But then, as soon as I came in, I started looking at all the fancy knives. Oh, I definitely have to get this. This is what I definitely need. Look at that there. It's D2. It's big. It's what. A lot of nonsense. Knife collecting for me has changed so many times over this last year and a half. I've gone from a real budget channel buying budget knives to the now that I've also been given a lot of knives by very, very generous um, just YouTube followers. My subs, they have just been amazing. And there's knives in my collection that I would never have had if it wouldn't have been for my subs. Would never have had. But I'm starting now to save up and buy because I don't have to rush out and buy so many cheap ones to keep the channel going. I'm starting to save up now and buy better knives. And I suppose this is all set. I'm still waiting for my GEC to come. It hasn't come, so I'm getting all excited about waiting for it coming. And I was sitting thinking about these knives today. But these are beautiful knives, and I don't want to put anybody off getting them at all. They are gorgeous. I mean, this is over 100. This is about the same price as the um, Benchmade new slip joint and the what's the one I've just got? The steel. Oh, what do you call them? Not steel will. No, it's definitely not steel will. Real steel? No, it's not real steel. It's one of those modern ones. It's the one that came out at the same time as the Benchmade. But I mean, that's the same price as that. Although to me, the Benchmade looks more industrial. This is slimline in your pocket, very, very modern. The Benchmade tried to go traditional a bit, and they to me, they neither got one way or the other. It doesn't look like a traditional, and it doesn't look modern, and I think that's why I preferred the other one. I went and got the other one. Do you know, it's going to do my head in if I don't get the name. It's sitting in front of me here, so I'll just pull it out. The you know, on the one that I'm talking about. There, lion steel. There we go. The lion steel. Do you know, I bought that and it's just absolutely beautiful. A beautiful knife. And it's a modern, it really should be down here with these, but I keep it with my collection of traditional because I think that is the traditional of tomorrow. I think that knife will be around in 30 years. I'm not sure that these ones, the Tucson and the Furas and the two will be around in 30 years' time producing these type of knives. But I do believe that lion steel, in my head, and the likes of the Bokers that have been going for years, I think they'll still be around in 20 years' time. So, I don't know. It was a bit of a rambling video, and I don't know. I think it's just because I'm excited for this other knife to come, and I was just thinking, and I was looking through the small knives that I have. I have a huge collection. It's obscene the amount of little small knives I have. Um, but I love them every bit as much as my collection of bigger knives. And I genuinely mean that. I just love them. I often get them out like this and I'll sit and play about with them for just to see how they go. And if they need a wee drop of oil, give them a wee drop of oil. But I love just holding them, touching them. Traditionals, I'm a terrible fondler. I could nearly be arrested. If there was a law against it, I would be in jail for traditional knife fondling. But there we go. That's just a whole other story. Look, thank you very much for watching. These, it'll be interesting. I'd love to come back in 20 years and be sitting here at 80 saying, where are they now? Like that TV, bro, where are they now? And I think the traditionals will still be about because collectors like us will have them, will want them. And I'm hoping that their blade steels are not going to start having to start go way up. 1095, perfect. That's what I call a perfect traditional steel. So there we go. Oh, well, little Queen done the D2, didn't they? But there we go. Anyway, I enjoyed having a wee ramble. Needed a wee chat. There you go. That was my take on modern versus the traditional. What's the difference? And the difference is none at the moment. This is just the modern version. And the ones over there, my traditionals, that's the soul cupboard, man. That's the soul. Paddy's away for a cup of tea. Bye.